This video is to get you started on the It's Payday activity. So what we're going to do is we're going to calculate how much these people would get paid over a 2-week period. Okay, so you've got two people on the front, so this is week 1, this is week 2 for the same person. And then on the back, same thing, you've got 2 people, and it tells you how much they're going to make. Okay, so the first thing we have to do is figure out how much they worked. So first, it's easier to work with time if you make it decimals. And so just to give you some easy ones, 15, so if it's like 7:15, that is a fourth of an hour. So you can change it to 0.25, okay? If it's 30, 7:30, 6:30, that's 0.5. And then 45 minutes, so this is like minutes, is 3/4 of an hour, so 0.75. So to show you how I got those numbers, because there are some that are a little bit wonky, let me grab my calculator real quick. Okay, so if you take the minutes, so like here we've got 45 minutes, and you divide it by 60, or if you do it with the decimal point at the end, 45 divided by 60 and then decimal point, it'll make it the decimal when you do it. So like this one, 10 minutes, 10 divided by 60, it kind of gives you something wonky. So those are a little bit harder to work with, but I'll show you an easier way to do ones like that. Okay, so if we do 4:30 minus 7:45, we can't do that because it goes past noon. We can't just subtract those times. So the easiest way is to adjust it from 7:45 to, now I can't go to 4:45 because that's too long. So I want to go to the nearest full hour. And you can count from 7:45 to 3:45. So we've got, and if you need to write it down, be 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3. Some of you will be able to calculate that in your head, but if you need to write it down, that's okay. So from 7:45 to 3:45 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hours. Okay, so we've got 8 hours. Okay, and then we've got to go from 3:45 to 4:30. Okay, so 3:45, let's say, to 4 o'clock. That's 15 minutes, okay? And then from 4 o'clock to 4:30, that's 30 minutes. So that's a total of 45 minutes. Now that's where this comes in, okay? 45 minutes. I want to write this as a decimal, okay? So I want to write this down as 8.75. I want to write it in terms of hours. Okay, so 8 to 5. So another way that you can do this is work from noon. Okay, so 12 o'clock is noon. So I could do 12 minus 8. That gives me 4 hours. Okay, and then going from noon to 5 o'clock, it's whatever this is. So from noon to 5 p.m. would be 5 hours. Okay, so I've got 4 hours here, I've got 5 hours there. That would give me a total of 9 hours. Okay, 7:45 to 3:30. So again, I would go from 7:45 to 2:45 would be the nearest. Okay, so 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hours. So I've got 7 hours. And then I've got to go the rest of the way to the 3:30. Okay, to 3:30. So 2:45 to 3 would be 15 minutes. 3 to 3:30 would be 30 minutes. So that would be 45 minutes. So if I write that as a decimal, it would be 7.75. So again, those times are, if it's 15, something 15, it's 0.25. Something 30, it's 0.50. Something 45 would be 0.75. Okay. So 810 to 440. So I would do 810. Now this time I can go to 410. So I'm going to the nearest hour. Okay, so I just count up the hours. So 8 to noon, we already know is 4 hours. Again, if you need to count it out this way, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we know 8 to noon is 4 hours. Noon to 4 is 4 hours. So this would be a total of 8 hours. And then I've got to go from 410 to 440. So 410 to 440 is 30 minutes. So this one would be 8.5. All right, 7:30. And I could go to 4:30. So 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that's 9 hours. And then 4:30 to 4:45 would be 15 minutes. So 9.25. All right, so to get your hours for the week, you're just going to add up those times in decimal form. So 8.75 plus 9 plus 7.75, 8.5, 9.25 gives me 43.25. So 43 hours, 15 minutes. All right, 7:45 to 4 p.m. So I could do 8. I could do 8 a.m. to 4, because that's 8 hours. 8 to noon is 4, noon to 4 is 4, and then tack on that extra 15 minutes. So there are some shortcuts to be able to do this. So 8 hours and 15 minutes would be 8.25. So here I could do 8 to 5. So if 8 to 4 was 8 hours, 8 to 5 would be 9 hours, and this time it's 30 minutes, so 0.5. This one's a little bit tougher. So 7:15, we could go to 4:15. So 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4 would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 hours. And then 4:15, oops, sorry, you can't see what I'm doing. 4:15 to 4:30 would be another 15 minutes. So 9 hours and 9.25. Okay. 8 to 6. So again, 8 to noon is 4 hours. Noon to 6 is 6 hours. So we know we've got 10 hours. 45 minutes would be 0.75. And so you'll kind of start seeing the patterns. You'll kind of start remembering, oh, 7 to, this one wouldn't be 4, it'd be 3. But you'll remember how many minutes or how many hours are in between those. So last time, 7:15, we could go to 2:15, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So when I'm counting, I'm not counting the 7. I'm starting here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 hours. And then 2:15 to 2:45 would be 30 minutes. So 7.5. And then I can add all of those up. So I would get 45.25. Okay, so what you do down here at the bottom. Regular hours are 40 hours. Okay? He worked over 40 hours each week. Regular time is maximum 40. You have to cut it at 40. So if it goes over 40, you're going to take that amount, 43.25, and subtract 40. And that's his overtime hours. Okay? So 45 minus 40 is 5.25. That's important. You need those values. Now, if it's less than 40, say they only work 36 hours, he would just have regular work hours, no overtime, okay? It's if you work over 40 hours that you get overtime pay. Okay, so now we need to write a check out for this guy. Okay, so he makes $7.10 per hour, so that's important too. So let's figure out how much he would make. So his regular work hours are 80, and then his overtime is 8.5. So he makes $7.10 an hour. $7.10 an hour times the 80 regular hours. So that's $568. That's just his regular time. To figure his overtime, you take what he makes and you divide it by 2. So I get $355. And then I add back in his regular pay. So your overtime pay should be more. And then you take that amount and multiply it by what he works. So times the 8.5 times 8.5. And you round, okay, to money. 5. And then this would round to a 3. Okay? All right. So to get the total that he makes $568 in regular hours, $9.53 in overtime, 568 plus 90.53. His paycheck for 2 weeks, his gross pay would be $658.53. All right, so let's write this guy a check. All right, so this guy's name is Ed Gott. So Ed Gott. The date, just whatever today's date is, it's the 3rd, May 3rd, 23. Okay, how much money did he make? $658.53. That's his gross pay. $658.53. Now you have to figure out his withholding amounts. This is all the stuff that they hold out of your paycheck. Now, not all of it, but some of it is across the board. All right, so to figure this up, this 8.6, we need to change it. It's a percent, so we need to change it to a decimal. I know it already has a decimal, but it's not in decimal form. But you take the gross amount and you multiply it by that decimal. $56.63. Again, you need to make it money, so round to 2 decimals. Okay, so we do that for each spot here. 6.75 would be 0.0675. So $44.45. Same amount again, times, so this would be 0.022, $14.49. Okay. Now we've got these other amounts over here. So we're still starting. It's still the gross pay. 5.05 would be 0.0505. So $33. This one would round. 26. 658.53 times 2%, 0.02, $13.17. And it's kind of hard to see. This is 0.4%, which would be if I moved it 2 places, 0.004. So that's $2.63. Okay, so total withholding. I'm going to add these 6 numbers up. And that's his withholding, $164.63. All right, so to find his net pay, so let me move a little bit here. You take his gross pay and you subtract the withholding. So 493.90. Okay, that's what we're going to write the check for. So even though his gross pay was this is all they're cutting him a check for. So $493.93, and then the 90 cents would be 90 over 100, and then sign it. So go ahead, start trying to work the next guy, figuring up his time. When I get back, I'll check them for you, check your times. So if you want to just do the times first, that's probably the best idea. Let me check the times before you start doing all these calculations, because if the time is off, all of these are going to be off.